Hi, this is Sean Carson with the International Centre for Positive Change and Hypnosis here in New York. And I'd like to take a minute or two, to talk to you about our next NLP Lab, which is taking place on February the 17th, that's 2014, if you're watching this on YouTube in 2016, say. February the 17th, that's a Monday night, 6 till 9. And we are making the NLP Labs a little bit different this year. Last year, the labs focused on entirely new patterns, and we're going to be continuing that into 2014, lots of brand new patterns. But we thought we would also mix it up a bit. So one of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the roots of NLP, going back in time to the early days of NLP, to the days before NLP was NLP, and find out what was happening then, what techniques and what influences fed into NLP. Because by understanding those, we'll get a better understanding of NLP itself. We'll be talking about Viginia Satir, and one of the techniques which Viginia Satir used with her clients. You see, Viginia was one of the therapists who were used as the basis of NLP. She was modeled and her skills were brought into NLP. She was a family therapist. She dealt with families. In fact, she's often called the mother of family therapy. And her interest in therapy and families in particular went back to her childhood. There's a story that when she was 5 years old, she looked at the families around her and she said, why are they different? Why does this family seem to work well and this one not so well? What's the difference that makes the difference in families? And she decided at the age of 5 to become the world's first children's detective of families, to work out what was actually going on in families. And what she found as she became a therapist, as she worked with families, what she found and what she believed was the problems people have are not the problems they have. The problems that people have are how they can cope or not cope with the problems they have. So somebody may have a major issue, their house may burn down, they may lose a loved one, any number of things may take place. It becomes a problem when they're not able to cope with that event. The event is real, it took place in the real world, and it's how they cope that allows them to deal with that or not deal with that. And she said, well, the way somebody copes with a problem is based fundamentally on self-esteem. So that if somebody has strong self-esteem, a strong sense of self, a positive sense of self, they can deal with anything the world throws at them. On the other hand, if someone has weak self-esteem, they're uncertain about themselves or they think badly about themselves, then the smallest problem in the world can be a major issue for them because they can't really cope with that. And Viginia had something which she called the Self-Esteem Toolkit, and this is what we'll be working with in the lab on the 17th. Now, as you may know, when I do a lab, when I teach a new technique, I get curious about it. I want to try it out. I try it out on my friends, and I try it out on my clients. I try it out with everybody I meet with, everybody I work with. And the Self-Esteem Toolkit, I have found, based on my research, is one of the most powerful tools for personal transformation which I have ever seen. As far as I know, it's not taught in any other NLP course anywhere in the world. You will find it in some of Viginia Satir's books and works. And what this toolkit is a collection of objects which you can use to boost your self-esteem. Now you're probably wondering, what are the objects? What is in the toolkit of self-esteem? Well, not surprisingly perhaps, the first object in the toolkit is a detective's hat. That's right, a detective's hat. You see, the toolkit of self-esteem, this is something that's so easy, even a child can use it. It's almost like a dressing up box. And you know what that means? Regression. So the first item is a detective's hat. The detective's hat allows you to understand what is going on with the people around you, with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, with your enemies. Whoever it may be, you can begin to understand what's going on in the world around you. The second object is a medallion. It's the medallion of authenticity. And this is one of the most powerful tools, one of the most powerful objects in the toolkit. I don't have time to tell you all about every single object. I'll just run through the rest of them. The third one is a magic wand. That's right, a magic wand to allow you to transform the world around you. The fourth object, a golden key to unlock any situation. And the final object, a treasure chest. A magical treasure chest which will lead you to riches. So if you'd like to learn more about this powerful technique that lies at the very roots of NLP, used by one of the models for NLP, a tool which I personally have found fantastically powerful with my clients, then come down to the NLP Lab. Monday, February the 17th, 2014, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 545 8th Avenue, Suite 930. I hope to see you there. It's $20 payment in advance, $30 on the door. Have a fantastic